people don't have such poor decor modifiers when they're out, like, digging and stuff. I don't know if it's a good idea. It's probably, like, a useful thing to do, as long as I don't mind spending the resources on it. Although, to be fair, if you look at my the amount of raw minerals I have, I'm pretty okay. Like, I can spend granite or sandstone on this all day. Probably granite, because granite is the better decor transference. Decor booster, I guess. So yeah, I totally could. What's stopping me? Nothing. And it'll give Sims something to do. And by Sims, I mean dupes. Building out of granite, right? Yeah. Here. Do this. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Sure. Do the thing. This doesn't actually need to be... It's just this stuff. This is the problem. There's oxygen over here? Oh, I didn't know there was oxygen over here. That's cool. Doing the how do I breathe dance. It's the worst. Wow. Sure does take some work to get this resolved. Rowan mastered plumbing. Excellent. Now what? But you've just done everything, haven't you? Are you a scientist? Can you be a scientist? Nope. Do you want to, I don't know, become an electrical engineer or something? What are your passions, Rowan? I guess we should have you learn how to dig. Are you capable of digging? You are. All right, well, let's do it. Hey, we cleaned this stuff out finally. Amazing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey! How's it going, Alcavar? This needs to be prioritized. This must be dug out immediately. People are going to die. Thank you. Alright, cool. We did it. Now, clean up. I said clean up! Don't just leave this stuff lying around. Dupes. Do the thing I tell you to do. Good. Picking up all the bleach stone. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Excellent. Alright, alright, alright. Things are gonna be okay. Could I give a short introduction to my colony? Sure. So, we started off here. This is our central area. And we have expanded a bit. Kind of digging around and poking at stuff. We found a couple of cold biomes. We have found an neural vacillator, which is a point of interest. But mostly we have some ranching over here, a little bit of farming, which I'm not exactly happy with, but it's here. Chlorine is everywhere, which is annoying. Started digging out some slime stuff over here. That's going mostly okay. There's a little bit of slime lung in the water, but I'm sure it's fine. And I've got, like, power plants and, like, metal crafting facilities and everything over here. So, yeah, things are going well. Things are going well. trying to keep people happy. Seeing how well that works. Some more bleach stone over here. You people. Alright, so this opened up. Now what? We did the thing. I don't know what's next on the list of things to do. Ah, okay. Yeah, I've definitely heard people having problems with this game, right? Like running into issues and needing to start over, running into issues and having their colonies die out. And it's like, I have never had that much of a problem with resource management. I've only ever given up on colonies because of boredom, not because of issues cropping up and making the colony unlivable. Like, even my first time through, I made some mistakes, sure. But, I still made it to, like, I don't know, cycle 150 or something. And people were like, you're making it, you're never gonna make it to cycle 50, you're gonna run out of water and die. You're never gonna make it to cycle 100, you're gonna run out of food and die. You're never gonna make it past cycle 100, everything's gonna get too hot and everybody's gonna die. And it's like, oh, I mean, I guess if you say so, but I don't know. All the problems always seem relatively manageable. Chlorine and carbon dioxide down here. I should get rid of this mealwood farm. I don't really need it. Chlorine, huh? Chlorine is a problem. I'm noticing chlorine is a problem right now, right? Like, it feels like there's a lot of chlorine in the air, and it's in annoying places and kind of getting in the way, and I feel like that's troublesome. Not exactly, like, a problem, but it is annoying. Dirty water is for sure a problem. And I definitely had my first facility get super sick because there was just people drinking polluted water. Or, not drinking polluted water, but like, I was filtering the wrong kind of polluted water into my drinkable water source. So, of course, we got food poisoning in the water and everybody got sick. And, it was pretty bad. Like, I started digging out a new place with clean water, like, oh, I guess we gotta go find new clean water. And I finished digging it out, and I get the ladders, and I get the pump all set up, and then immediately, as the first sim, their dupe, is pumping out clean water, one of the other dupes gets sick and vomits into it, polluting the whole thing again with food poisoning. And it's like, oh, alright, gotta start over. Like, that was miserable. We recovered. Like, it wasn't the end of everything. But, it can definitely cause problems. Chlorine is getting to be not an issue, but an annoyance in a way that it hasn't before in this particular base. There's a lot of chlorine all over the place. And, I'm kind of like doing chlorine mitigation over here by picking up all the bleach stone and by sealing off my chlorine gas vent and stuff. But like, there's a ton of chlorine in the air down here, and I don't really know what to do with it or what to do about it. Like, and I'm using the chlorine from the gas vent to feed my ore scrubbers, so at least I'm like using it a little bit. But this is also an endless source of chlorine. Like, it's never going to run out of chlorine. So if I wanted to pull chlorine out of the air from like the places where I'm actually visiting, I'm not exactly sure how to deal with that. So, yeah, that's certainly a question. I mean, I guess the answer is just start pumping it out, right? Pumping it into places, maybe, or, like, I could probably fix an overpressure gas vent into this area, right, where I'm holding all the chlorine anyway. But, like, it's overpressured at this point anyway, so I can't, like, that's not gonna hold it. But maybe, like, I could fix an overpressure gas vent into some other closed-off area and pump chlorine in. That's certainly a thing I could try and do. I don't know how useful that is compared to, like, just having chlorine around and not worrying about it is also an option. So, I don't know. Ooh. RL MTG draft. That's cool. That's weird that it's M19 and Dominaria. In terms of hints, it becomes a lot more important to pay attention to what other people are doing. So when drafting, you want to pay attention to the kinds of cards that you're getting as well as the kinds of cards that you're passing. You want to pay attention to whether or not you're sending good cards of a color, because that will incentivize people to take those cards, even though you might want them also. So you have to pay attention, like, if you're passing a good black card, that is a reason for you to not be in black, even if it seems like black is coming later on. If you're getting past good black cards, that is a reason to be in black, even if the card that you first picked was, like, in green or white or something else. So that's something to pay attention to. The other thing is utility cards go up in value a bit because you can sideboard. So, like, Plummet or Invoke the Divine suddenly become better cards because you don't have to have them in your main deck, and if you see good targets for them, you can side them in for games 2 and 3. So that are the things that I would recommend in terms of, like, how things are different from drafting on MTGA. Beyond that, I mean, there's plenty of information on how to be a good drafter, how to draft well, all kinds of stuff. I'd say, like, go onto some sites and read, you know, like, Star City Games has articles, Channel Fireball has articles. I don't know if anybody's, like, posting stuff to their own site or watch a draft video or something. Like, there's plenty of ways to sort of level up a little bit. How are we doing over here? 999. Well then. Time to punch some people. Maybe we just eat a Dreklet egg. Maybe that's how we punch people. And then here, we can actually punch a hatch. And here, we can punch another hatch. Seems good. Alright, Nails, go do the fighting. Look at her go! Good work, Nails. Light wounds, huh? Maybe you should go to bed. Is it actually affecting you? Hang on. Yep, athletics -3. Alright. Time for you to take a nap. Ah. The variety that both editions bring. Yeah, that's interesting. I believe that that actually makes black-white more viable, because black-white as an archetype was really good in Dominaria. It was also, like, the life gain shenanigans archetype is pretty good in M19, and I feel like they'll synergize pretty well. So that's something to try out. Green is going to be really good. I would actually lean towards, like, maybe trying to do blue-green. I don't know how good the blue is going to be. Green-white, certainly viable. I think green, black, and white are probably the 3 best colors in both of those environments. But I haven't done, like, any extensive investigations into how that works. So, yeah, I don't have anything specific. Don't have enough for a second one. That's alright. I don't have any berries yet either. So we'll wait. It'll be enough eventually. Alright, what else am I doing? Was there stuff that I was still doing over here? Job got mastered. What got mastered? Sainiku mastered Apprentice Miner. Well, time for Sainiku to become an actual miner. Bunch of chlorine in the air over here. What a surprise. What am I doing? What is my next project? Where are people going? What am I trying to accomplish? How are we doing over here with this polluted water? Doing a little better. It's cooling off. It's cooling off. Yeah. No worries, Aquar. Happy to provide assistance. Probably do want to get another Wheezewort set up here, but the problem is, like, the sensor. I wonder if instead of this big liquid pump, I should have had, like, one of the smaller pumps. Because we don't need to pump that much, right? And that'll leave me more room for the automation sensor. and a Wheezewort here, if that's how I want to do it. I think that is how I want to do it. All right, cool. Deconstruct. 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 Prepare another flower pot over here. Eventually, people will come over and fix this issue for me. What is going on here? Why is this a problem? Thank you. Just build a thing. That's all I wanted. Okay. So the next step is going to be building the automation sensor again. Building the thermosensor. Here. I think this gets deconstructed, as does the heavy watt wire, as does the heavy watt wire here, right? And then we can build a mini pump here. I finally have plastic, you guys. It really would be. Especially because of the pacing, right? Like, you can then control for all the boring bits and just put in the exciting bits or the major milestones. I haven't done a lot of editing for YouTube, though. I had a project in mind at one point. I was gonna edit up my Steven Sausage Roll run and get all of the plot bits put together in sort of one nice, close montage. But I haven't done that yet. And it is real difficult to find time. Alright, that's doing fine then. And once this gets built, we can automate it appropriately. Doing work. No. This is what I wanted. Copy settings. Where do I find another Wheezewort, though? Was there one just around somewhere? Oh, there was the one over here. I can pick up this one. Okay, cool. That'll work. And then automation wire. And then this will again be below 10 degrees Celsius. And this is going to be slow. That's fine. Stuff is going to transfer relatively slowly. Not a big deal. This doesn't need that much work. Like, this doesn't need that much, that much water, right? Ada mastered the groundskeeper job. That's cool. And this gives me the room I needed, which is the important part. And, like, the power requirements are a lot lower. The power requirements are a lot lower. It pumps so slowly, though. Wow, I didn't even think about that. How much slower is it? Like, if you look at a liquid pump, it sends 10 kg per second, whereas the mini liquid pump sends a tenth of that. Okay. It's not that bad. It should be fine. It was a little slower, but not like that much slower. I mean, I guess it moves at 10th speed. Timed light. Huh. That never occurred to me. Is it difficult to manage? Not really. I'm not using it, like, a lot, to be honest. I'm not doing a whole lot with it, so... Like, I think you could definitely do more with it if you wanted, but I'm not really. Pressure. It's too low. Not enough air in this air. There's just actual hydrogen in here. How did that happen? Finally did it. Man, I say not that much slower, but it's literally a 10th as slow. It'll literally take 10 times as long. 10 is a long time. Overall, that's going to be more power than the liquid pump. Man, why did I do this? I guess just for the space? I mean, I think that is correct. Like, I wanted the space. I wanted the more flower pot. More Weezwort, rather. But, like, wow. Melted plastic and use the outcome to make liquid doors. Oh, yeah. I've actually seen somebody do that as well with just, like, regular water. You don't need to melt plastic for it. If you just put water, it prevents the passing of gases, which is basically better than an airlock. Like an actual mechanical airlock. Which is, like, that's cool, but, like, that's not really the way I want to be playing the game. Like, it feels super weird to do. You know what? You all get wrangled. And let's eat some eggs, I guess. Are there directed eggs around? There are 2 of them. Good, perfect. Time to make some omelets. That it wants to go up instead of down. Really? Melted plastic floats. Huh. That's fascinating. That seems like a lot of work to achieve, though. Like, how hot does it need to get in order to melt plastic? Will dupes even be happy in that kind of temperature? That's a lot of temperature. Dupes are idle. I gotta give them a project, you guys. I gotta figure out something for people to do. I guess let's mine out this area. No, we'll make another ladder. It's fine. Ah. Cool, that'll give people something to do. There's a lot of water around. That's bad. Just mop it up. Guys, please fix this issue. Thank you. Tower full of coal generators. Man, that's a lot. That doesn't sound like a thing I want to do with my time. You know what? I should really just set these to 9. And then it'll be auto 9 anyway. I'm not going to have any problems. Not going to have to mark it directly for sweeping. People will just do it. Ooh, more jobs got mastered. Joshua got good at groundskeeping. Time for Joshua to get good at plumbing. How are we doing here? Plenty of lice loaf. Plenty of the good stuff, too. We've got a full meat line around. Let's turn that into barbecue. Oh, in sandbox mode. Okay, sure. It's believable. I definitely haven't tried anything in sandbox mode at the moment. Oh, we're out of algae. Is that true? We've got plenty of slime. It'll be fine. And oxygen is really doing okay. Like, if I look at the reports, we are positive on oxygen, and have been for a while. Except for that one day. You guys, solve this problem. There is too much chlorine. Ah, it became nighttime. Everybody's on break. Jerks. How's morale doing? Max and Bert are at 6%. Bert has some stress. He's doing fine. Everything is going to be fine. Max has some stress, also doing fine. Everything is going to be okay. Yep. Break time is over, huh? Oh, you just need oxygen. I see the problem. Will somebody pick up this bleach stone? Oh my god. Please, you guys. You're killing me. I'm dying. How do I refine slime? So I've got this algae distiller. I've got several different ore scrubbers kind of gating the way between the algae distiller and everything else. And I've got this whole facility over here, walled off from the rest of the world, where I'm mining out slime and algae. I've got it gated off to prevent slime lung from getting into my base. And I've got walls of deodorizers to change the polluted oxygen, which is heavily slime lunged, into regular oxygen, which is inhospitable for slime lung. So, while this stuff is going to be incredibly poisonous, all of this is mostly fine. And that's another layer of preventing slime lung from getting into my base. Slime, while dug out, constantly produces polluted oxygen with slime lung in it. So my slime storage is in this storage compactor, which, because it's underwater, cannot emit any gases. It's always overpressure. So this isn't outputting any polluted oxygen. It's not outputting anything. It's just underwater. This is the real trick here. The rest of it is all fairly common sense, but I think this is like a trick that I saw somebody use, and I was really impressed by it. I think this is like a really smart way to deal with it. Yeah, other than that, it's just a matter of not letting a bunch of polluted oxygen into your base and picking up slime as quickly as possible so it doesn't output a bunch of polluted oxygen that just has like millions and millions of slime lung everywhere. Like that's the real key. Is slime is bad, but the little bit of slime lung you get from turning slime into algae is not that much of a problem, especially with this many ore scrubbers. The real issue is managing the amount of slime lung in the air. That's what will kill off a colony, for example. Everybody's idle. Wow, I really gotta find some stuff for these people to do. Is there another digging project? Do we want to send people somewhere? Is it time to open up the hole into space? Is there a bunch of stuff that I want to just dig out? What's the next, like, pile of things I want to dig out? What is going on? Why is this underwater? How does this happen? What a strange situation. Yeah, is there stuff that I just want to dig out? There might be. If so, where? I mean, I could build a row of ladders to actually dig the rest of this out. There you go. Something to do, people. Go do things.